Hello! Today I will be talking about English phonetics and phonology. Okay, let's start. In any language, we can identify a small number of regular sounds, like vowels and consonants, that we call phonemes. For example, the vowels of the words pin and pen are different phonemes, and so are the consonants at the beginning of the words pet and bet. Because of the notorious confusing nature of English spelling, it is particularly important to think of English pronunciation in terms of phonemes rather than letters of the alphabet. We often use special symbols to represent speech sounds. The symbols are always printed in blue type to distinguish from the letters of the alphabet. After we see the phonemes, we are going to continue with different units of speech, such as the syllables and the aspects of the stress. The stress could be roughly described as the relative strength of a syllable. And intonation is the use of the pitch of the voice to convey meaning. As an example of stress, consider the difference between the pronunciation of contract, example, they signed the contract, and contract as a verb. It started to contract. In the former, the stress is in the first syllable, while in the latter is in the second syllable. Accents and dialects. Languages have different accents. They are pronounced differently by people from different geographical places, from different social classes, or different ages, and different educational backgrounds. The word accent is always confused with the word dialect. We use the word dialect to refer to a variety of languages, which is different from another's, not just in pronunciation, but also such matter as vocabulary, grammar, or word order. The difference of accent, in the other hand, is just only the pronunciation. The accent that we concentrate on is the one that is most often recommended for foreign learners studying British English. It has been a long time identified by the name received pronunciation, usually abbreviated to its initials RP. But this name really is very old fashioned right now. Then, also, the pronunciation of English in North America is different from the most accents found in Britain. Of course, they have their exceptions. You can find accents in Britain that sounds American, and also accents in America that sounds English. But the pronunciation you are likely to hear from most Americans sound different from the BBC pronunciation. But talking about the difference between accents of English, the foreigners should be more careful between the difference in England and Britain. There are many different accents in Britain, but the range becomes very much wider in the accents of Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. Within the accents of England, with the distinction that is most frequently made by the majority, with English people is between the northern and the southern. Also, a term which is widely found nowadays is the stuttery English. And many people have been given the impression that this is new, or this is a new kind of accent of English. In reality, there is no such accent in the terms that we should be using this with care. The idea originates by the psycholinguistic observation where people try to speak with the BBC pronunciation or RP accent and they find acceptable to speak with some characteristic of the accent of London. Well, here we can see that the difference between BBC pronunciation and the RP. And nowadays we can see BBC pronunciation, but it's not really accepted with all the writers. Also, we have a problem area that receives a lot of attention, and that is the use of symbols to represent English phonemes. In the past, many different conventions have been proposed, and students have often been confused by finding the symbols that are used in one book and then when they go to another book, they are different. And that's why it's very confused because we learn something and then we go to another book and it's different. But maybe it's just for time because we're going to get used to of them. Because in all of the works nowadays in English, they are going to be there. And there are a lot of advantages of having in common the symbols of pronunciation and teaching materials. Thanks for watching.